Karasu Properties and Investment Limited, ye can also dale Lamen Karawan, 20 by 20.
Jiobeje, Kurangabeje.
Ye can Karasu Properties and Investment Limited, ye can also dale Lamen Karawan, 20 by 20.
Jiobeje, Kurangabeje. Ninsun karobu nyana la horomo kang.
Iba wafila $200,000.
Cash.
Ikafumi mfane mortgage ka domon ninjo katafu kariworo, ibo wafila $250,000. Kairosu Properties and Investment Limited, Ibal Contender Sunkarol. Kairosu Properties. Link us and we make you a home builder.
Roydundu pire dama ne ana Jambangs Royal Gramo tabaski bi di ñew man Jambangs Royal Gramo la ci tama ana jeeg ñi ana jege mané ana suma chamen yu baxi yeen ñi nga xamne da ngeen am jabar yeen ñi nga xamne da ngeen a waja sey ci yeen ñi nga xamantene ni para ngeen tabaski bu baax daw leen dem sétul Jambangs Royal Gramo ak Jambangs Royal Gramo ñu ngi leen fa amal li nga xamne mom moy jasna li nga xamne mom moy WhatsApp ana Facebook 20 di dalo mané VIP lay wor man ana borom takay ciubi takangi ni dama ne dem len city Jambangs Royal Gramo nak amal len ciubi façon xet bu nekka bu len demé nak ñu jaay len ko ci price bu yomba yobul len ko ba fu ngeen bu gab mu aga ba tay nak kon ko bëgg ci ciubi yi mën nga call ki nga xamne moy Jambangs Royal Gramo ci 78 255 87 78 255 87 mbete nga oko ci 299 2967 299 2967 mbata ba tay rek mën nga email xalé bi nga xamne mo nek ci ci gannaaw Jambangs Royal Gramo ba tay nga email ko ci jambangfatou@gmail.com dama ne Jambangs Royal Gramo ngeen and ci xalé bu yaña bi di Fatou Jambang nek nak ci Jambangs Royal Gramo fas yene defante ak yeen yu baax ci tabaski bi dama ne man tabaski bi ni Jambangs Royal Gramo lay won Jambangs Royal Gramo roy dundu pire dama ne Jambangs Royal Gramo nak toj na fi mbokk yi kon nak tay dinañ nekk ci mbedda bi fu génn waxtaan ak askan bi di mbokki Gambien ci lacca leen naka leen gisee TRRC bi nga xamee ne nag démba ki nga xam ne nag mooy former junta member di ki nga xam ne nag mooy Yankuba Touray testifiyoon na foofu noonu sa TRRC bi moom nag buñ ko joxee li nga xam ne nag mooy axuraan bi moom nag nakuutu na waat moom ak ki nga xam ne nag mooy Essa Fall ñoom nag waxtaan neen nag ba nga xam ne nag try neen ba mu waat waaye nag gis neen ne moom mi nga xam ne mooy Yankuba Touray wax na ne constitution bi maanaam moo ko aar ba nga xam ne nag moom ak ay collègues am nekk neen ki nga xam ne nag mun nañoo nekk si li nga xam ne nag mooy TRRC bi te it ñaa ko wax kon nag loolu la wax mi ne nag TRRC bi dafa unconstitutional bu boobaa nag dinañ laajte nit yi ndax gëm neen li mu wax ndax gëmul li mu wax ndax Yankuba Touray ñene yi ñu ne dafa dem rek appuyer ci TRRC bi waaye testified ñeneen ni nag ñu ngi wax ne waroon na moo mun a ñëw toog def comme ay moromam wax li nga xam ne nag mooy xalaatam ak naka la gisee li nga xam ne ab tuumal yoo xam ne teg nañ ko ci kawam benn bi ci li nga xam ne nag mooy Kuro Ceesay keesi Kuro Ceesay beneen bi ci li nga xam ne nag mooy November 11 ak li nga xam ne nag mooy UDP 1996 ki nga xam ne nag mooy ministre bi di ministre justice di Batambedu moom nag wax na ne ki nga xam ne nag mooy Yankuba Touray li nga xam ne nag mooy loi dina atte maanaam loi bi dina jël li nga xam ne mooy full force bu boobaa nag ñu laajte askan bi naka lañ ko gisee ñu waxtaan ak ñi nga xam ne dañuy cover commission bi waxtaan ak general public bi Fatou Samba Gambian Talents what's your name?
Amadou Diallo.
Amadou Diallo, where do you work?
I work at the Point newspaper.
Amadou Diallo, do you watch the TRRC?
Of course I do.
How do you see the TRRC?
Well, the TRRC to me is normal. Every transition government in the world, they establish truth commissions, and this TRRC is also as normal as other truth commissions around the world.
Do you watch the testimony of Yankuba Touray?
Mr. Yankuba Touray, yes, I do. His appearance at the commission, of course.
So you call it an appearance?
Yeah, because he didn't. Of course, he swore to the Quran, but he refused to say anything. So, meaning he didn't testify.
So, how do you see his actions?
His actions to me were normal, though the act he shouldn't have done that. He should be mature enough. To me, he's a soldier, and soldier, even if you will be killed, you have to tell the truth. But in that aspect, I think Mr. Touray failed in that aspect, trying to protect himself with the 97 Constitution. Of course, the Constitution protects them, but that Constitution, that protection clause was just put in there by themselves. Not, it doesn't sound the opinion of the entire Gambian people.
According to Yankuba Touray, he said the 1997 Constitution protects him and all his colleagues. Do you think that he also said the TRRC was unconstitutional? Do you agree with him?
I will agree that the 97 Constitution protects him and his other colleagues, but I will disagree that the TRRC is unconstitutional. It's constitutional. Even themselves, when they came, they have commissions. So everywhere through commissions, commission of inquiries into financial dealings or whatsoever, they happen, not just in the country. So his claim for TRRC being unconstitutional, I can contest that, but I can agree with him that he is protected by the 97 Constitution.
So what do you think should have been done?
In my personal thinking, like I always tell people, I always advocate. That is why the TRC action of gauging people's opinion on what next, the type of constitution we will have, it's important. So the reflection, the opinion of the Gambian people need to be reflected in the constitution. It's not just people sitting out there and fixing constitution anyhow they want in their own protection. I think Gambians, we have to walk away from that. So, that should be a learning point.
Do you think the TRRC, before being set up, they should have changed the constitution first before setting up the TRRC?
Well, if you look at it, politicians do what they want to do, and they will always continue to do what they will do. Unfortunately, our politicians forgot about this aspect of it, but they really remembered that to be in office, they need to, because the presidential or vice president or whatsoever age limit need to favor them. They went and reviewed that part of the constitution, but forgot this part of Yankuba Touray and his cronies protecting themselves from the constitution. I think they forgot that part of it. Yeah.
What message do you have for our leaders in such a case?
Our leaders, I will tell them that whatever action you do today will haunt you tomorrow, whether negative or positive. So I will prefer to take the positive side. So they need to act positive. If they are putting in position, they are put in position by people. So whatever they are doing, they have to respect the opinion of those people. Whatever you do today, tomorrow will definitely come after you, whether it will be a good one or bad one. So I will ask our government leaders, our authorities, to act positive, always, at all times. Whatever they are doing, let them consider the welfare, the rights, and whatsoever of their people.
Indeed, that's quite interesting. According to the Minister of Justice, Batambedo, he said Yankuba will face full force of the law. Are you hopeful that the state will follow the case of Yankuba?
Well, if they fail to follow the case, it's up to them, because it will make Gambian peoples lose the hope in them. If, of course, Yankuba Touray came today, that day, and before the TRRC, he walked out with this respect. So, the Justice Ministry has to do something, because if they don't, another person will come tomorrow and do the same thing, and nothing will get out of it. So let them do what they should do, and of course they know what they should do. So let them do what they should do about this issue.
Yeah, some people say that they think that the TRRC is here just to put words on the mouth of the APRC former government. Do you think that's the case?
No, I disagree on that aspect. That is how many people will see. And you cannot stop them from thinking that way. Like I said in the beginning, everyone has a constitutional right to say what you want to say, to think how you want to think. But to me, TRRC is as normal as any other truth commissions in the world. So there is nothing like TRRC coming to be discriminatory. We have been watching it from the beginning up to today. I don't think it is any way discriminatory. And to me, it's not like people always, like the lead counsel will always say. TRRC, there is no part of its name that talks about punishment. It didn't have the mandate to punish. It is the High Court that can give mandate to punish. So you are just asked to come and say what you think or what have you've done. Just tell people what you've done, and that's the end of it. I don't think it's a way.
According to a lot of people, Yankuba Touray has been accused of killing or been involved in the killing of Kurosise November 11 and UDP 1996. If you were part of this family, will you forgive Yankuba Touray?
Well, this one is another big one anyway. If my family member is part of it, of course I can forgive.
Why?
Like I always say, you can forgive but you can hardly forget. You know, whatever we should think, let's think about the future of this country first. Today we are the people, you know, the younger ones have to look after. Of course this has to involve killing, where killing is involved. You forgiving the person can't bring the killed person back, and still not forgiving the person can't bring him or her back again. So the best thing is we forgive him. Of course there is somewhere else where all of us is going to meet. That's after we are all dead. So this is world. I personally, if my relative is there, I can forgive him. So the rest is up to the law to do what they should do.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Momodu Fall, a journalist.
A journalist, with paper or with TV?
Yeah, I do work for Gambia Daily, but I'm a member of the Gambia Press Union.
Okay.
I'm an executive member of the Gambia Press Union.
All right. That's quite interesting. Do you watch the TRRC?
It's not that I watch it. I cover the TRRC since it started, from its beginning up to date.
How do you see the TRRC?
Yeah, the TRRC is interesting. People have been coming, giving their testimony. So now, you know, it's up. Because like I do say, people will come and give their testimony. But at the end of the day, the commission will do its work. That's the most important thing. I think one thing that is fundamental that Gambian has to understand, that the commission, that the TRRC is set up by an act of parliament. It's important. That's why it's set up, at least to investigate, you know, the atrocities since 1994 up to 2017. I think that is the mandate of the TRRC, and they are doing their mandate as expected.
You said you are not only at the TRRC, you don't only watch the TRRC, but rather you attend the TRRC to cover the TRRC. How do you see the testimony of Yankuba Touray?
I will not call it a testimony, I will call it an appearance. Yeah, because Yankuba didn't testify, he appeared. Yes, yes.
How do you see then his appearance at the TRRC?
I think he should have been more diplomatic and respectful to the commission and the commissioners. I think with due respect, the commission have given him all the respect he deserved, but I think he overreacted, yeah, towards the commission. Yeah.
What did you learn from his reaction?
First of all, I think it should not have been done. It's unfortunate that this thing happened, but it should not have been done. Since the commission's TRRC sitting starts, this is the first of its kind for such things to happen in the commission. And I think the legal counsel, Paul, has done everything possible, and the commissioner, the chairman of the commission, at least to see how best he will come and testify as his colleagues did. Sana Sabali did everything. He testified, you know. Others also testify. So many people testify since the start of the TRRC, but this is the only time that they have such a witness who was supposed to appear and testify and didn't testify, and he was basing it on the 1997 Constitution that it protects them as council members.
Do you agree with him that that really protects him?
Anyway, in the Constitution, they make these things to protect them in the 1997 Constitution. But I think what people have failed to understand that the TRRC also is an act of Parliament. And, you know, anything that is passed by Parliament is law and is lawful. One thing, he should have testified, and he had the right to testify, you know, because the TRRC, you know, it's a Truth and Reconciliation and Repatriation Commission. So that's why they were doing everything possible to make sure that at least, you know, he respect the rules of the TRRC and testified, but which he didn't did actually. But he should have testified, definitely, you know, to clear, because there are so many things, allegations, you know, levied against him. You know, he has been alleged of so many things, you know. I think this was a good opportunity for him to come, you know, and talk to the public as to what happened from his own side. We have had Sana Sabari, you know, so we have had others also who were genius, they are genius. So it was better for him also to come and narrate his own story. So to the Gambian people, whether they believe him or not, that's not the issue. The issue is, at the end of the day, the TRRC had a mandate. And their mandate is to make sure that at the end of the commission, you know, they will make their recommendation. We have to understand one thing, that we are in a reconciliatory process. The Gambia is in a reconciliatory process. And what we are doing, you know, there is nobody that the TRRC is hunting. And the chairman made it very clear at the starting of the TRRC that it's not a witch hunting thing. You know, it's a reconciliatory body. And remember, this is not the only time the TRRC, you know, this is the first time it's happened in Gambia. But it happened in South Africa. It happens in other countries in the world. You understand? But I would say that, you know, people have to take the opportunity. At least when you do wrong, you know, you appeal, you know, for amnesty, or you appeal for forgiveness from the victims. I think that is important.
That is important. Mr. Fall, do you think what the minister said, that his minister Tambedi, he said, according to the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Tambedi, he said, Yankuba will face full force of the law. Are you hopeful that the state will drop these charges against Yankuba? Because just a few months ago, Yankuba, both Yankuba and Fatmata Jahupa Sise were taken to court. And so many people said the state dropped the case. Do you think they will also drop this case?
That's a pronouncement from the ministry. Let's see what's going to happen.
Do you think they will act?
No, I don't want to assume. But what I can say is a pronouncement. Let's see what's going to be the outcome of the pronouncement, whether it will happen or not. As of now, I cannot comment on it unless and until, you know, we see how it's going to last.
Some people are saying it's just going to be another waste of time, waste of state resources.
For what?
For the charges, because the last time they happened to drop the case. This time around, if they happen to do the same thing, then it will be waste of state money.
Let's watch and see. Time will tell.
Yeah, some people think that the TRRC is here just to waste time, save money as well, and some people believe that the TRRC is here just to put words in APRC's shoe, you know, just trying to bring them down and the like. Do you agree?
No, I disagree. The TRRC is here for all Gambians, you know, who have undergone, you know, various human rights violations, you know, during the time mentioned according to the mandate of the TRRC. So I think it's fair for people to come and tell their stories, you know, to the Gambian people, so that never again, I will repeat, will not happen. What happens in this country will not happen. As I told you earlier, we are in a reconciliatory state, and it's about reconciliation. What I believe that this country, all what we need is reconciliation. You know, we can forgive, but we cannot forget the past. But me, what I think is more fundamental for this country now is to reconcile, you know, as a country, you know, and forget about things, you know. But the TRRC is important. It's important for us to have, as Gambian, to have the TRRC in place. Because if not the TRRC, you know, you might see people attacking each other in the streets, you know. But with this thing, I think it will heal the wounds of the victims. The perpetrators also, you know, we have seen, you know, people who have testified and apologized publicly to their to the victims that, you know, they are sorry for what happens. And we have seen some who said that they have also, some have already forgiven them. But if there was no TRRC, such things will not happen. So it's significant for us Gambia, for this country to have this TRRC in place. Yeah, it's not a waste of state resources. You know, it's important.
Some people are saying if you were part of the family of the late Kurosise, November 11, and also UDP 1996, will you forgive Yankuba Touray?
I'll forgive, but I will not forget. Yes.
Why?
No, you will never forget what happened. You understand? But you can always forgive, but you cannot forget what happened. Actually, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What message do you have for Gambians that believe that they will never forgive Yankuba Touray?
The whole idea of the TRRC is reconciliation, and also at least if we reconcile, you know, we will have the Gambia we want. But if we don't reconcile, you know, that hatred will be still within our communities and within our families. And I believe that we have been given the time to come together to reconcile. That's why even the TRRC, they are doing a lot of outreach programs to the communities to sensitize them about the reconciliation process. They have also been meeting families, you know, the reconciliation unit. I'm not working there, but this is what I saw, and this is always what I saw in the media, both social media and also sometimes in the television, electronic and print, that the TRRC staffs are doing well. You know, they have been going to communities trying to organize reconciliation meetings through outreach programs. I think these are important. And they are not doing it only within the greater Banjul area, but they are doing it throughout the country. And people are now understanding what reconciliation means. So I think even after the TRRC, let's continue the reconciliation. That is the only thing that can help this country to move forward.
Yankuba Touray was seen testify at the Janneh Commission, but then the TRRC, he did not. Do you think there is anything he is trying to hide, or there is something that people need to know?
Yeah, I think the best thing, that one, it's Yankuba who can answer that question. I cannot answer that question. But the fact of the matter that he accept to appear before the Janneh Commission, I see no reason why he should not appear before the TRRC. Because remember, there were commission sets in this country. I could fully remember. There was the Algali Commission, the Atete Commission. So there were different commissions that were set. And people from the former regime, you know, the PPP regime, and those who were named in those commissions, they appeared in that commission. At the end of the day, that commission comes with a report. So if there is a commission, this new government also came up with a commission, I think he have to respect the commission, because he was a council member and they were the people who set up these commissions. And people appeared, you understand? And people appeared. So if at all that this government also set a commission, I see no reason why he should not appear. He should have appeared. Yeah, he should have appeared and testified.
Do you also think that the government of the day have a responsibility, that is, before setting up all these commissions, for them to change the constitution first before doing anything?
Yes, I entirely agree with you that the government have a responsibility, because like I believe that they are legal experts. I'm a layman as far as law is concerned. But there are legal experts who knows what he was claiming. Yankuba was claiming that all these things were in the constitution that will protect them. And apart from them, people also forget about one thing, apart from what even Yankuba said, is the Indemnity Act is also there. You remember the April 10 and 11. So those guys, the Indemnity Act also is in the law. It will protect the security officers who were involved in those acts against the students, in April 10 and 11. So that also, the Indemnity Act also protect them. I think it's good to set up this commission, but what they should have done was also, it's still not late, at least to make amendments through Parliament. It has to go through Parliament to make amendments so that it will make the work of the TRRC or any other commission set up, or even after the TRRC, at the law courts, either at the Supreme Court or at the High Court, it will make the work easy. If I told that, for instance, the TRRC recommends that Mr. A or Mrs. Y will be prosecuted, and it's up to government to act or not to act, but the responsibility lies with the government. But to avoid such problems, I think amendments should be made to these clauses, that are in the constitution that these people are relying on. If not, we will have problems in this country.
Mamadou Fall, we always see you at the TRRC, covering the TRRC. That very day, Wednesday, the former junta member, that is Yankuba Touray, was there. How do you see the people's reaction? Some people said it was ridiculous. Other people say these people, the general public, wanted to take the law into their own hands. Do you believe so?
There is a divided opinion about it. But I believe in one thing, that the public also should allow the law to take its course. Because the reason why TRRC, the commissioners are chosen, and they are definitely, I need to commend the commissioners and the legal team, and the staff of the TRRC. They are doing a good job for this country. I think the public, once the responsibility is given to these people, the public also should allow them to do their work. But the public should not also overreact. I think they have to allow also the law to take its course. If not, they will make the work of the TRC very difficult. You understand? We have seen what happened at the Kairaba station. You understand? We have seen before he left the Kairaba station. I was there. You understand? Before he left the commission. But one thing people have to know, that once Yankuba is under, is before the TRRC, is solely under the protection of the TRRC. Anything that happens to him, it is the TRRC that is responsible, and the TRRC will not allow that. That's why they have done a good job to make sure that they give him all the security protection, to make sure that at least he is safe. His safety, he has right as a citizen. His safety also is important. So I think the commissioner have done well, and the security also forces of this country, the police especially, the police I think should be commended for a good job. But one thing I would say, the public should be very careful. Let them allow the TRRC to do its work, but let them not follow their emotions. It might jeopardize the work of the commission.
Final message.
My final message is to the Gambians is that let us be tolerant to each other. And anybody, I'm appealing to anybody as a Gambian, to anybody who is called to appear before the commission, please cooperate with them and you appear. And what do you know? Just explain what you know at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, the TRRC have a mandate, and they will do their recommendation and pass it to government. So it's up to government now to act or not to act. But that is their responsibility. So let Gambians cooperate and not see the TRRC as anything, but to see our TRRC as that it belongs to all Gambians. Any victim or perpetrator, if you are called upon, just go. There is nothing that people fear. People have mixed reaction about the TRRC, but me, I have been covering the TRRC since day one. I have never missed a day. But since then, people have been coming, and there is no problem. It's normal. Some the way how they think about the TRRC, if they appear, they find it simple. They would just ask you a question. What do you know? Based on what you know, that's what you're going to explain to the commission. That's it. So let people, I will encourage people to appear and to know that Gambia belongs to all of us. Let us not allow anything to divide us as Gambians, but let's nurture the peace and tranquility and stability of this country. At the end of the day, the Gambia is our Gambia. There is nobody, bigger than the Gambia. The Gambia is bigger than you and I.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
TOURAY'S Properties and Investment Limited, ye can also dale lamen karawa 20x20.
Jiobeje, Kurangabeje. Ninsun karo bunya na la horomo kang.
Iba wafila $200,000
Cash.
ikafumi mfane mortgage ka domon ninjo katafu kari woro ibo wafila $250,000. TOURAY'S Properties and Investment Limited ibal content sunkarola. TOURAY'S Properties, link us and we make you a home builder.
roy dundu rok pire dama ne ana Jambangs Royal Gramo tabaski bi di ñew man Jambangs Royal Gramo la ci tama ana jeeg ñi ana jege maani ana suma càmmeñ yu baax yi yéen ñi nga xam ne da ngeen am jabar yéen ñi nga xam ne da ngeen a waaj a sëy si yéen ñi nga xamante ne ni para ngeen tabaski bi mu baax daw leen dem seeti Jambangs Royal Gramo ak Jambangs Royal Gramo ñu ngi leen fa amal li nga xam ne moom mooy jas na li nga xam ne moom mooy WhatsApp ana Facebook 20 di daloo ma ne VIP lay wóor man ana borom takay cuubi takkaa ngi nii dama ne dem leen seeti Jambangs Royal Gramo Jambangs Royal Gramo nag amal leen cuubi façon xeet bu nekka bu leen demee nag ñu jaay leen ko si price bu yomba yóbbul leen ko ba fu ngeen bugga mu àgga ba tey nag kon ko bugga si cuubi yi mun ngaa call ki nga xam ne moom mooy Jambangs Royal Gramo si 78 255 87 78 255 87 mbete nga oo ko si 299 2967 299 2967 mbete ba tey rek mun ngaa email xale bi nga xam ne moo nekk si si gannaaw Jambangs Royal Gramo ba tey it nga email ko si jambangfatou@gmail.com dama ne Jambangs Royal Gramo ngeen ànd see xale bu yaaña bii di Fatou Jambang nekk nag si Jambangs Royal Gramo fas yéene defante yéen yu baax si tabaski bii dama ne man tabaski bii nii Jambangs Royal Gramo laay woon Jambangs Royal Gramo roy dundu roog piir dama ne Jambangs Royal Gramo nag toj na fi